See, that's why I'm
start again.
So
thanks so much for that introduction, Sharon. So today I want to talk about SharePoint Premium Content Assembly. So generating documents using SharePoint. So a little about me. My name is Leon Armston, and I work for a company called Intelogy in the UK. I'm a solution architect and I head up our content AI area, and I'm a Microsoft MVP in M365. I blog quite a bit, tweet and LinkedIn, but yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to add them into the chat, or yeah, feel free to reach out afterwards. So today I want to talk about SharePoint Premium Content Assembly. I'm aware there's lots more to SharePoint Premium, but I'm just going to be focusing on the document generation. There were some big Ignite announcements, so I want to talk about them. Some significant changes to Content Assembly coming. Give you a demo and a summary. So, SharePoint Premium, it was Microsoft Syntex up until about November this year, and then before that it was SharePoint Syntex. So there's been lots. Oh, why do you keep popping up? Sorry about that. So it is basically document generation. So the ability to create templated documents and then mass produce them. So use it to auto-generate standard documents such as contract, statements of work, service agreements. So yeah, imagine you're sending out a letter to 100 people. You don't want to create that letter by typing 100 times. You want to do it in an automated process. So at a high level, this is how it's done. So you may have an existing letter that you send out to people. So you can use that existing letter. So you upload that letter to start creating a template, and then you highlight blocks of text. So say like the name or the date field, and then you can link them to placeholders. So you might have a name placeholder, a date placeholder, an address placeholder. So that's in section 2, where we're associating those placeholders. And then you can publish that. And those placeholders, they link to SharePoint lists or manual fields. And then once that template is saved, people can then just go to a document library and create a letter using that template that somebody else has already created. So a bit more detail. So this is a larger screen, but we can see that from the new menu of a document library, they can select a template. There might be multiple templates in there. And then this is how we're creating this letter. So from this template, we've clicked on the employee handbook, and then we see all these placeholders. So we can see that there is a placeholder for the company logo here. So it does support images as well. There's a placeholder for the company name, employee name, CEO's name, mission and statements. So these are all placeholders that have been pre-configured. So what you can do here is they can link to an existing SharePoint list that you might have containing this information, or they can be manually filled out. And then after this, a document is produced using the data that you selected. So SharePoint Premium Content Assembly currently supports, as I spoke, manual data entry. So type in your own data, linking to SharePoint lists. It allows you to at the moment, only generate PDF, or Word documents. There's no functionality for, say, generating PowerPoints or anything at the moment. It enables you to create documents using tables. So you might have a lot of tables of information in your organization that you want to put in a document. It allows you to add images or link those placeholder fields to manage metadata. So perhaps you have a list of companies in your organization as managed metadata fields, so those shared term stores. And it also enables you to have conditional sections. So you can have, if say one value is chosen in your placeholders, then it adjusts the document to say add different clauses or add different details. I'll come into that more in a demo later. There is an automation story as well. So we just talked to I've just shown you how we did it through the UI, how we created a document. But yeah, you wouldn't want to do that for 100 documents, go through the UI and select 100 different people for 100 letters. So there is a Power Automate action that you can bulk create letters using that. In terms of further dev, so dev, there is no current APIs to do it, but there are some MS Graph APIs targeted the second quarter of 2024. So if you want to develop a solution, you have to use Power Automate to do it in bulk at the moment. But if you want to do it using code, then later on in the year. So the costs. So for each document created using Content Assembly, it's currently a pay-as-you-go process. So for each document created, it is around 15 cents US, 14 euro cents, 12p in English money. So that is a cost. It's not included with your existing, say, Microsoft E5, E3 subscription. We are in a current world, you see the second bullet, we are in a current world of where Microsoft used to sell per seat licenses for Syntex. Some people might still be using them, but they're no longer available to purchase, and they're being phased out. So everything in SharePoint Premium is moving towards a consultative model. So if you have one of those Syntex licenses, you will not be charged for generating documents manually from a library, so the screenshot that I showed, but you will be charged if you use the bulk creation. So that's the fun part that I always hate talking about, the license thing. So I now want to talk about some of the Ignite announcements where, in my opinion, Content Assembly ramped up a few gears and is going to bring it to more people. So in my image that I showed you earlier, Content Assembly was all through the web, but now it's moving to the Word application and eventually the web version. So imagine you're composing a document. You will be able to template it all from that Word menu across the top bar of your Word. So as I mentioned, you'll be able to create templates from the Word menu. You won't need to do it from a SharePoint document library. And then this all links into workflows. So imagine you can create a workflow with a document. So imagine you create a contract template. You can then have that You can then have that when you create a contract, it goes for approval or for e-signature, for example. There's currently a private preview, which is starting soon. So if you do have any requests, then yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I can speak to Microsoft or reach out to Microsoft directly. And then this was another big announcement. There was going to be a business documents app in Teams. So this is where you're going to be able to, because currently SharePoint Premium Content Assembly is done on a document library basis. So you configure it in one library, but now there's going to be a central place with a template library, so you can store all your templates in one location. Snippets, so perhaps you have a common text that you use for letters. Well, instead of copying and pasting them from other documents, you can save them to a snippets library. There's going to be field libraries, so you can use those placeholders, so the name, the company, for example. And then there's going to be a central place for these business documents. There's also going to be a contract management solution, so you can see when contracts are expiring. There's going to be AI doing some review and reviewing like the clauses. So AI-based deviation and clause analysis, and yeah, that also links into e-signature, which is coming to EU soon. So I'll show in a little bit more detail, but this is a click through. So within Teams, you can create a new, say, statement of work. You can specify the values, and then it's filled in the Word application here. I've got a better demo of this, but yeah, basically this is a click through of creating a templated document, filling in some details, and then it fills in there. So that's, yeah, no code used. It's all from an app. And yeah, we can see the agreements app here, so we can see the contracts needing review, for example. And then there was also announced a documents portal. So perhaps this is predominantly for people to externally share documents. So maybe you share those contracts with vendors. So what they're going to provide is an easily accessible branded external site where your external suppliers, vendors, and customers can access it. And then they can collaborate on those documents. So perhaps they can review those contracts. Perhaps they can sign the document. So that's going to be a secure area, so you can only see the documents that are shared with you, and yeah, all geared up so you can easily share with external people. As I mentioned, e-signature. So you can electronically sign documents. So you might use DocuSign at the moment to get a signature on a document. So this is being brought into SharePoint Premium, so into SharePoint, and it's currently rolling out in the US market, so it's available there, and it's coming to EU very soon. So it's only for PDF documents at the moment, so you can only get a signature on a PDF document, so you'll have to convert your Word documents to PDF. I mentioned there's Adobe Sign and Acrobat Sign, so there's going to be support for those other providers within SharePoint too. So it's not just Microsoft e-signature. You can use your existing contracts perhaps. And then you can track them all in a central place using the Approvals app. So I'll now show you Content Assembly now, and yeah, some of the functionality. So I now want to show you how easy it is to create a template which we can then use to mass produce documents. So from an existing library, we can go new, and then if you have SharePoint Premium pay-as-you-go setup or a SharePoint or an existing Syntex license, you have this button here on the new menu to go create a modern template. And now I mentioned we can use an existing document, so we can browse in SharePoint to find an existing documents that we want to use. And I want to use this document especially set up for Teams Nation. So we can see that this document has some Teams Nation details, but it also has a wrong image on it from ESPC. So I'm just going to show you how we can replace, use the image functionality to replace that. So we go name the placeholder logo, and then it's identified it as an image field. So we can pick any images or pick from an existing list of images. So we'll go pick from any image. So what this will do is it will ask the person to upload an image to add to here, but we could link it to a SharePoint library full of images. And now we're going to create some placeholders. So we're going to highlight the recipient name. And name the placeholder. We can use the placeholder in multiple sections, so we can see the recipient's name is here twice. So we've marked our existing placeholders, and now we've got 3 options. So we can have a manually entered field, so we can ask them to type in the recipient's name, or we could link it to an existing column or list of a library or a managed metadata term set. So we're going to link to an existing SharePoint list. So if I scroll down to here, I've got a client's list here. And now we're doing the name. So in my field, it is in this list, it is the title field. We can allow authors to add new choices if we want. And now we're going to quickly do some more fields. So we're going to do streets. Going to find the street field that we've got set up already, and we're going to do the city. And we won't do the country one, but we do have that value. But we're just going to add a manual date field in here. Click a date and time, and then we've got a variety of date formats that we can use. So we're just going to do date, month, YY with the slashes. And now we can publish this template, so make it available to all. We'll call this Teams Nation demo, the name of the template. These values chosen can also be added to your document library. So if someone creates a document with the details are then available in the document library as well in the view. So that's now published. That now template is now available in all of the in this library. So we can go new. We see our Teams Nation demo here. We click on that. And now we can go logo. We can browse for an image. But I know in my downloads, I've got a Teams Nation logo. And we can see that that's replaced the image there. Now we'll go to my clients list and we'll choose one of my fictitious clients. Oh, word. So we've got a manual override for that. That's not worked. So now we're just going to do the date. So we can see that those have all updated. The manual field is updated, and now we can click Create Document. So we'll call this Live Demo, and now we can choose to generate a Word document, docx, or a PDF. So now that's creating, we can now view the document within the library. So we can see that that's all filtered in, and we've got a session letter to the attendees of today's session for Teams Nation. And now quickly want to show you some other demos. So here's an example of producing a document with images and tables in it. So we'll now choose any images. So here we can see this is linked to an existing SharePoint document library. So we'll have a Jupiter. So now this is loading a picture of Jupiter. And now, yeah, you may have an existing SharePoint list with client data. So some one of my clients, they have a list of visits for the day for engineers. So you know, they can then produce customized letters for their employees by going into here and selecting what visits for which employees to do, for example. But for this example, I'm just going to select a couple of clients. So I'll select all three. And now this is auto-produced a table. But then, yeah, this table could be as large as you wanted it to be. So it automatically expands depending on how much content you selected. So now we can create the document. So we'll call this Teams Nation Tables. And we'll do it in a Word document. And we can see our documents being auto-created here. You can play about with the formatting a little bit more to make it look nicer, but yeah, in the example, I just wanted to demonstrate the functionality to you. So now I want to show you some conditional, how you can do conditional templates. So perhaps you send different letters to different clients with like different blocks of text. Say if they're in like a different country, you have to show them different regulations or different clauses. So I'll show you an employee handbook that one of my clients use this functionality. So we're now going to create a employee handbook for for a company and an employee, but this employee is could be based in many. It's a multi-geo company, so we need to put different employee regulations, so different labor laws, for example. So we're going to select the company. So we'll select TomTom, the sat nav. And then we'll select from my list of companies the name. And then we need to enter the employee name. So we'll have Brian Smith. And now Brian, he's going to be based in the United States. So we can see the United States section is displayed with the United States policy with the PTO, paid time off, for example. But now we can change it to the Netherlands, for example. And we can see that the Netherlands policies are now displayed. Don't worry about this space. The space is removed when we generate the document. So we can see the conditional section. So it's saying we've not included the United States employee policies because the value chosen was the Netherlands. And we're showing the Netherlands, it was included because the employee country is the Netherlands. So now we can create this document. So we'll just call this Teams Nation. We'll have a PDF. And now we'll generate the document. So we can see, it's quite a long document, but we can see the Netherlands policies have now been included. So that's conditional sections. Now I want to show you how this can be automated. So if we go, so this is using Power Automate. So what this is doing is it's going to connect to an API and pull 5 dad jokes down for me and put them in a document. But I just wanted to show the concept of you might have data in other business systems, and then you can have a workflow that connects to that business data system, pulls down all the data, and then uses this action here in Power Automate to generate the documents. So the ability to connect to an external system, get some data, and then it can be generate a document. So I'm just going to test this. So generate this document. This, if you're a fan of dad jokes, this will connect to an API. It will retrieve 5 dad jokes, and then it will put them in a document. So now if we go back to our library, we can see a few seconds ago that there was one generated, and we can see the customized dad jokes is going to be created. Now I'm not going to read them because I've since realized that they're quite un-PC, some of the dad jokes, which I need to change this demo for. So there's a few examples of SharePoint Premium Content Assembly. So you could use it to mass produce letters, contracts, use images and tables, use conditional sections. So you've not got to create a template for each different country for an employee handbook. You can just have different selections on depending on what you choose. And then I showed an example where it connects to an API to get external information, and then uses SharePoint Premium Content Assembly to generate the document. I'll now return back to my slides. So now I'll talk a bit more of the future, a bit more of the Word integrations, the business documents, apps, all stuff that is coming to Content Assembly. And because it's more integrated into the popular applications that people will use more, there'll be more usage, and you'll have more exposure to this. So what Microsoft are trying to do is build high value content solutions. So they've started with a contracts and agreements app. So we can see on this screen here, we can see, I imagine a lot of companies deal with contracts coming in, contracts expiring. So they intend to have like a contracts hub where you can see contracts that are in draft, for example, that are expiring soon, that need approval, that need a signature. And we can see some statistics about how many contracts have been signed, how many e-signatures are pending, what templates are available at the bottom, what recent activity, for example. But we could link this to other different document types, say invoices or something. There could be an invoices thing, so we could see invoices that have been issued or need payment, for example. So I'll just click through here into the click-through demo. So this is showing there is no sound. So this is where you'll be able to see your agreements that are expiring, that need approval, who's done what, for example. So this is using all of the great features of M365. So the compliance, so it's being stored in SharePoint, so we can benefit from versioning and e-signature, for example. So you'll go into here, you can create a new document, a new statement of work, you can fill in the details, and then that's all available. So, sorry, I skipped there. So you'll then see your statements of work. You'll see that they can fill in details, so select who this is from, for example. But also, if we zoom into the top, we can see you can add fields, add snippets of text, conditions, send for e-signature, send for approval, etc. So we filled in all the details. So this is all in the Word application. We can then add clauses in, for example. So we type in a clause or use our snippets. We send it for approval. We specify who the approvers are. And now we can see that this document's now in for approval. A person then gets a email to say, they've requested an approval. The person reviews the document. Using the AI, it tells them what has changed. So there's a deviation summary. It's generating some details of it with a recommendation. So add a line of written consent. And then you can specify some text when you're confirming the document. So now we're going to do the send for signature part. So again, you notice there was an ability for SharePoint e-signature, but also DocuSign. So we can specify who we want it to go for e-signature for. And now we can type in an external email address, for example, and then we can click send to send this document off for approval to those two people. And they again receive an email, click on that email, but this is the external person, so they get taken straight to the document. So the document doesn't leave your tenant. It stays within your tenant. They come into your tenant to do the e-signature. And then there's going to be AI-driven analysis of high-value documents. I do have a click through of that, but that's quite similar to this. And then I want to show, so we did see the AI-driven analysis of the clauses, and we saw some analysis of that. Contracts were expiring, so the AI is giving insights. So it is like your intern reading these contracts and adding insight. The Documents Hub, so the external Documents Hub, there's a bit of a demo here. So let me click through onto this. And this is, we're logged in as an external user. This is the documents available to that external user. They can upload some details. So they're ordering some sunglasses. And then that document is available to the person in Contoso, the Contoso employee. So, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this because it'll really simplify external sharing. So I'll come back to my summary. So the summary is the existing content assembly functionality is coming to Word and Teams app. So there's going to be a central repository for creation, reviewing business documents. So at the moment it is disparate. You have to set it up on a document by document library basis. There's no central repository. And then there's going to be the advanced content solutions for high value document types, i.e. contracts, but I can imagine a lot more document types will be supported. And then e-signature integration too. So to find out more, there is a few more links about SharePoint Premium, the documentation, what's coming, e-signature, and the Syntex roadmap. And yeah, I'd like to thank you all today for attending this session. Here's a few links if you want to get in touch with me. I'm really looking forward to attending lots more sessions today at Teams Nation. There's some great sessions that I want to watch that I can't watch because there's some clashes. For example, there's seven tracks, but yeah, really looking forward to attending today. And yeah, do let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll just check the chat now. I'm happy to stick around, answer some questions, or reach out to me.